Assassin's Creed Valhalla is not a stealth game. It's an open world action game that happens to have some stealth options in it.
Rip.
But at least from the 3-hour demo I played, Valhalla is a lot more interested in expanding on what you can do with a pair of axes than with your hidden blade. Hi, I'm Wes from PC Gamer. And
Wait, did that guy just completely just turn his back to you and just like forget that you were there? What happened?
Valhalla is a lot more interested in expanding.
What is he doing? I'm sorry, I can't just pass
Valhalla
this.
is a lot more
You kill his
interested
friend,
in
and he's just
expanding
standing
on
there.
what you can do with a pair of axes than with your hidden
and then he turns
blade.
around and blocks.
Hi, I'm Wes from
What?
PC Gamer, and I got to play a good chunk of
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla recently in Ubisoft's first hands-on demo. Now, this is obviously a
beautiful.
huge game, and honestly, after 3 hours, I really didn't get a good sense for everything you'll be able to do in it. But I did spend plenty of time in combat, which feels like it might be the biggest focus for
Nice.
Valhalla as it builds on Assassin's Creed
I
Odyssey.
mean, that's good. Gameplay's
So,
most
like
important.
Odyssey, Valhalla is unabashedly an RPG, and it's designed to keep you playing for hours and hours and hours while you earn better gear and level up your character. Your strength compared to enemies is based on an overall power rating, but you also have 3 individual power ratings for 3 different Viking clans, which have unique sets of equipment.
Ooh.
It feels kind of convoluted, but these do let you build your character in a certain way, which is pretty cool. You can choose to specialize in all-out attack strength and dual-wield axes, or play more cautiously with a shield, or choose between a rapid-firing light bow and a heavier sniper bow with a sight on it. I really appreciate that each clan has its own kind of style of equipment, and there's really a lot of opportunity there for building your character in the way you want, but it's a lot of different tiers of items. You can tell Ubisoft put a lot of work into making everything that goes into the combat feel flashy and have tons of ways to develop your character. You can always have a primary weapon and a bow equipped, and for each one of those you can have 4 special abilities mapped to the ABXY buttons on a controller.
Abilities?
My favorite move was this ridiculously powerful axe throw, which let me take out 2 or 3 enemies at range with a pretty slick looking attack. Another one let me perform a leaping strike to close distance and slam down on top of an enemy, though that one was a lot harder to land. Those abilities are all on top of the skill tree you fill in by leveling up, which
Whoa,
includes both
Skyrim
passive
vibes.
buffs and some new abilities. I haven't even touched on some of the more basic combat systems like parrying attacks, breaking enemy shields to stun them, dodging, building up your adrenaline meter to spend on special abilities in combat. There's a lot to master here, and it feels like the most complex combat system in an Assassin's Creed game yet. And I mean, that's fitting for Vikings, but the hour or so of time that I spent in combat didn't necessarily make me think that that complexity translates into a really satisfying game. There are a lot of pieces here, but I never felt the tension that I get in a From Software game, or even that kind of thrilling button rhythm of the Batman Arkham combat. I spent a lot of time the past year playing Monster Hunter, and despite Valhalla giving me way more abilities to use at any given moment, I don't think it demands nearly the same precision that makes Monster Hunter so interesting to learn. I think the real fun of Valhalla is going to come from turning yourself into an unstoppable Viking warrior over the course of 100 hours, finding all the best gear, picking out your favorite abilities that work really well together, but I wouldn't play it just for its combat. Which brings me to stealth, which is a huge part of the Assassin's Creed history, but feels like kind of an awkward fit here. It's still in the game, and I like that Valhalla sometimes gives you the option to be stealthy. Though your damage in combat comes down to RPG numbers, you can still get those one-hit kills from a bush or when dropping down onto an enemy for an assassination. But at least from the demo I played, the game tends to push you into more direct fights than assassinations. It's also a lot easier to just pull out your bow and silently kill enemies from afar than it is to sneak up on them. So in 3 hours, I assassinated exactly 2 enemies, and both times I was already in the middle of a fight. They just happened to lose sight of me.
This is kind of sounding
here we go.
disappointing
Ready?
so far, to be honest.
Here they are.
Dude, I miss the old Assassin's Creed games where that was what you did a lot of. What is this guy aiming at? Okay. Oh, that looked pretty cool.
Yep, that was it. That was my entire experience assassinating enemies in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The rest was combat or using the bow, and I did have a great time climbing up the high spots on buildings and sniping guards in the head. I'm sure the full game will give some players, really clever ways to circumvent entire fights by assassinating enemies, and I'm hopeful there'll be missions that do more to make these stealth systems feel worthwhile. Maybe after so many Assassin's Creed games, it makes sense for them to continue to move away from the old stealth mechanics and focus on new things. Valhalla's combat will definitely keep giving you new toys to play with for dozens of hours, but I think it's facing sort of a classic open world crisis. It's trying to be all-encompassing, and that makes it hard to truly excel at any individual piece. I did have a few really exciting battles in my first few hours, though, and you can judge how it looks for yourself. Here are a few more minutes of pure combat from early in Valhalla. It's out on PC at the end of the year.
Come on, shoot. Yeah. Oh, there's arrow drop. Okay, okay. He's just standing there. He doesn't care. I can't take this AI seriously. Why is he just standing there? Okay, he's dead now. These executions are pretty cool. I'll give him that. Smash! But the way he described the combat, like he compared it to multiple games, like From Software games like Dark Souls or Monster Hunter or the Arkham games, and he basically was saying that it doesn't measure up to any of those games. It's just more about getting the best gear and being unstoppable. I don't know, then that makes the game sound like a grind, and I don't really just want to play a game for a grind. And I do miss the classic stealth mechanics. But again, I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game since Revelations, so I'm not familiar with any of the newer titles. But this is looking more and more like a game that probably will not bring me back into the series. Especially if it's going to take a long time. For longer games, I have to be really impressed before I commit to them, because it's going to take me like 10 streams to finish them. And this doesn't look like a game I'm going to commit to. Ubisoft AI, I'm not surprised. But, I mean, I have to cut them some slack. I guess the game's not released yet. They'll probably, well, hopefully, they'll improve on the AI. I don't know. Swords wear the helmets? I have no idea. Alright, rest okay, buddy. I appreciate the lurk. Yeah, it's pretty underwhelming. Did the arrow hit 2 enemies? Oh, I did it? I missed that. Yeah, I wanted to check out this trailer to see if this would get me interested in the game, but it's actually having the opposite effect. Do you have unlimited arrows? No, I think 22, right? That number on the left? No, actually, that number's not ticking down when you shot an arrow. Okay, I'm gonna pay attention to that. I want to see if you actually have infinite arrows. No, it's that you keep picking up more. Now you're at 23. Okay. So you don't have unlimited, but you have a lot, and it seems like you can pick some up. It also seems like you can take a lot of hits. How did you just heal? Alright, well, personally, I'm not very impressed. It seems like they place, like, the core of the gameplay is on its combat, which is not a bad thing. In fact, that could be a good thing. Like, I feel like the core of a game, like, you should focus on your gameplay more than anything else. Games are meant to be fun. In order to make a game good, the core gameplay has to be enjoyable. But it seems like even though they focused on the combat, it's not really what, at least what I want it to be. It doesn't have, like, any of the Monster Hunter or From Software or even Batman Arkham, like, feels... It's a lot more about the building and just the grind and getting stronger and stronger. Like, really, really focusing on that RPG aspect to it. I don't know. That's... I mean, of course, this is just a little reveal. This isn't the whole game, so, I mean, you can't just assume the entire game is going to be like that, but... The purpose of this was to hopefully pull me into the game, but it's actually pushing me away. Based on what I've seen so far, I'm less likely to end up getting this game. I may not end up getting Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I might still get Black Flag one day, because I've heard that one's really good. I need to play it. But yeah, I'm not really too impressed with the gameplay I'm seeing here. Spire game for 2021. We'll see. This game's a crime against Viking realism. I mean, it's probably not meant to be realistic. Well, I guess I don't know if they moved away from it, but I know that in the past Assassin's Creed games, it was all about like going into Desmond's mind and seeing the how things were in the past, and they tried to go for realism in the sense of mirroring what those cities look like IRL or something. Multi-shot. Everything else I've seen look good on it. Maybe I just looked at a specifically critical one. Have they shot down that enemy that didn't care? Did some execution, landed a headshot enemy, didn't damage others or another? How you doing, Cuddle? It's good to see you. AI is dumb. It looks fun. They're taking from Odyssey and Origins to the OG AC games. Yeah, I haven't played either of those. I've only played the OGs. Well, it looks like the Division in terms of gameplay progression. Yeah, the Division was kind of very grindy in that sense, wasn't it? At any rate, that's all I have to say on this. If you like this video, please leave a like and comment. It does help out a lot. I do upload a new video every single day, so make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out. I also stream every day on Twitch starting at 12 p.m. Central and ending at 4 p.m. Central, so make sure you follow me there to catch when I'm live. Link is in the description. But we're moving on to Neon Abyss now, which is going to end up on my streams channel, so I'll see you there!